Hello, you guys, and thank you for joining me. In today's training, we are going to be talking about the tool that helps us have a managed mind. The managed mind tool is what helps you deconstruct your self narrative. It's the tool that will help you with anything in life. If you want any result, you can put it in this tool. I learned this tool at the life coach school where I became a certified life coach from Brooke Castillo. So Brooke Castillo created this tool. It is not mine, but I have the right to use it through my training since I was certified at the life coach school. So I just want to let you know before we get started on this. In all of my thought work journey, in all of my self-coaching, this concept of a managed mind has really been the key to everything that I've ever wanted. I've wanted inner peace. I've wanted self-love. I've wanted to be able to make life changes, like actual changes. But it all comes from thoughts that we have about ourselves and our abilities and our capabilities. So this tool is very valuable. So let's get started. So it's called the model. And I put in here that I learned this brain management tool from Brooke Castillo at the Life Coach School. The first understanding of the model is that circumstances are neutral. Circumstances are anything that we experience. It could be something that somebody says, but we experience something outside of us, a situation. But the thing that is old is that society and families and schools and different institutions have taught us that these things or people make us feel a certain way, like our circumstances, what we were born into, the hand we were dealt is the reason why we think and feel what we do. But what I want to offer you and what Brooke taught me is that when we look at circumstances as neutral, it changes the game, the whole game. So what I want to offer you is that every circumstance that you encounter is neutral. The way we know circumstances are neutral is because two people can experience the same circumstance and have two different outcomes, two different experiences, two completely different thoughts about what happened. And that's how you know it's a circumstance that is actually neutral, but it's a thought that we think about it that changes its neutrality. So the model, the circumstance is just the thoughts. No, it's not. The circumstance is just the facts. Sorry. The circumstance is just what happened. It's the facts. It can be debated in a court of law. There's no opinions in it, no assumptions, no biases. It's just the facts. So let me give you an example. Some people would say, my boyfriend made me feel this way because he said this. So the way we make a circumstance neutral is we put in the circumstance line, boyfriend said, and we just say what they said. My principal gave me a look, so I knew she was disgusted at me. That is not a circumstance. It's not neutral, right? My principal walked in and had body language. My son had an attitude with me, a tone. My son said blank. But what happens is when we experience these different things, we have a thought about it. So what do we make the circumstance mean? Typically, when we are doing self-love work, it's because we have thoughts that we aren't good enough. So if you look at your model, even like, okay, coworker says something, they don't think I'm good enough. They're saying this because, I'm not good enough. It always trickles down. Like if you have something happen and then you have a thought and you ask, so what? Why is this important? So what? What am I making it mean? And you keep asking yourself that thought, it eventually comes down to your big overarching thought that is in every situation. So normally we experience a circumstance. Here's a good circumstance. Somebody cancels a date, reschedules a date. Whoa, what do we make that mean? Right? I bet so many thoughts came into your head, right? You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. They're no longer interested. And then it all boils down to, I'm not good enough. So what happens is we experience a circumstance, we have a thought about it, and that thought that we have automatically given to us by our brain creates a feeling. So a feeling is not a thought, so it can't be phrased as one. A feeling is just a sensation in your body. So that's angry, mad, sad, hurt, rejected, ashamed, guilty, fear, just one word. So I'm going to go through that again. So we have a circumstance, we experience it, and then we have a thought about it. And then that thought creates the feelings that we have. And then that feeling drives the action that we take. So if we're feeling not good enough, right, which is a thought, I'm not good enough. So then how do I feel? I either sometimes feel shame, I feel disappointed, or sometimes I feel rejected. Whichever one of those feelings is, I put it in the feelings line. And then in the action, I write down everything I do when I'm feeling rejected. I buffer, I watch Netflix, I eat sweets, I overeat, I overindulge in anything that increases my serotonin, right? And then you also write down what you're not doing. I'm not being present. I'm not being kind to myself. I'm not showing up for myself. I'm rejecting myself. Like, what's going on in your head? So a lot of times, even our actions are what we're doing, but it's also like, what are we doing in our head? Are you thinking the same negative thoughts over and over again? Are you catastrophizing? Write it all out. Like, this is the part of the model, the A line, that should be the thickest. So you can see what it's creating with your result. So you experience a circumstance, you have a thought, that thought creates an emotion, that feeling / emotion drives the certain action you take or don't take, creating the results that you have. So over here on the right side of your screen, I hope you see CTFR. CTFAR. Circumstance, thought, feeling, action, result. So what you can start doing to have to how to use this tool, right? How do you use this tool? You write down your initial thoughts. What happened? Write it all down. It's called a thought download. Then you write down the neutral circumstance. Then you write down which one of those thoughts in your thought download is the loudest to you. How does it make you feel? Then you write down your actions. And then you write down your result. So this first model is called an unintentional model. This is the automatic thoughts that come. So you want to get those all out. You want to see those because you want to be aware of what your brain is giving you, what thoughts are giving you. And then the next step to create a managed mind model is that you ask yourself, what do you want to feel in this circumstance? Or what do you want to think? So if you have what you want to feel, you put that feeling in the feeling line. And then in the T line, you say, what do I need to think to feel this way? And then that's the thought that you want to practice. And if you can't think of a feeling right away, you ask yourself, what do you want to think about this circumstance? And then you put that thought in the thought line. And then you ask yourself, what does this thought make me feel? And then you put that feeling there. And then what action will you take when you feel this way? And then what result will you create? What I also want you to notice is I know I can see you guys over there. Okay, so see, my action does create my result. But what creates your actions, your emotions? What creates your emotions, your thoughts? So it all goes back to your thoughts. Your thoughts create your results. So those thoughts that are on automatic, those thoughts that are negative, they're creating the results that you have in your life. So if there's anything that you would like to be different or see differently or show up differently, if you start doing models unintentional first, because it's not always about changing your thought. It's not always about changing your feeling, but it's seeing where you are and being aware. And then if where you are is not serving you, then of course, absolutely do a managed mind model and show up in a different way, but it takes practice. So let's see. So a managed mind is the tool to deconstructing your self-narrative. So maybe like even the circumstance right now for our self-narrative is just self-narrative, right? Circumstance, self-narrative, that's completely neutral. Then your thought is, I'm not good enough. How does that make you feel? Guilt, shame, inadequate, rejected. And then you write down all those actions that you take when you feel that way. And then the results that you create in your life when you think the thought, I'm not good enough, you prove to yourself that you're not good enough. The way that you prove it is by thinking it. So let's do another one. Actually, we'll do this. If you're enjoying this training and you want to learn more about the model, email me at amberlynn@takingbackherbrain.com and join my Instagram. Because on there, I do lives and I do links and I do trainings and I do live coaching. And I would love to help you learn how to coach yourself through the model, using the model. I also have a free Facebook group that I would love you to join. So if you would like to get on my email list, which I think you already did by clicking on the training, then you're good. I'll be sending that stuff out. But if you've missed that email, you've missed that link, just email me at amberlynn@takingbackherbrain.com and I will add you to my free Facebook group where I do live events and I do live coaching events to help people who are interested in changing their narrative. So I will see you in the next training where we talk about my favorite thing. I'll show you. Feelings. Did you just cringe? Trust me, I used to too. But I'll teach you how you can feel any feeling. Have a great day, everyone.